Howdy everybody, Tasma Fuel Systems Research and Development. I wanted to shoot a little video of my Pulse motor before I get to building it so that you guys can see all the interior workings of everything. Basically what we have here, this is a stack of magnets. If I get in closer you can see they're individual ones. Those are each going to be placed between these spaces right here on the wood dowels, and they'll all be inserted into this copper rod. And then I'm going to put plugs in using a wood dowel and have it extended out, and then glue a magnet to the end of that. And then what these are right here is a spring with a magnet attached to it. Those will be glued to that as well. And then this spring will be glued into this cap right here. These rods that you see right here, these pieces of wire, those are my positive and negative wire. And those are the wires that are going to be used to take the current that's produced as the magnets pass through the coils, and it will go through these rods. I do have diodes attached to each coil so that the electricity will not flow back and send power through to the coils as they're each going off. I do have it set up so that the spacing is pretty even on this rod right here that will have the magnets fixed to it, and I did that so that it produces electricity all at the same time and it shoots down this wire. And then at the end of the wire, I don't have it right now, but there's going to be a capacitor that it goes into, and then from that capacitor there will be wires going from the capacitor, and it'll be rerouted back to a driver coil which will send electricity through it, and it'll cause the magnet to shoot out. And basically when the magnet shoots out, it'll pass, all these magnets right here fixed to this bar will pass through each of these coils, and then they'll hit this magnet which is attached to a spring and cause it to push out and then retract back and send it back and forth. And I have this trigger right here to be used to time everything. I'm going to have to place this trigger inside of this pipe. I'll drill a hole and place it in there so that it's in the correct spot, that when the bottom magnet reaches the proper position that's glued to the bottom of this dowel right here. Once it reaches the proper position, it'll cause this driver coil, it'll cause a pulse to be sent through it. Basically all this is a switch. It's actually a switch for an airsoft gun, and so when this rod goes down and it hits that switch, it's going to send a pulse of electricity through that driver coil that will shoot the magnet back out this way, bounce it off the spring, and keep the process going back and forth. And we're going to see how well that works. If this fails and that pulse is unable to keep it going, or there's not enough electricity produced from these pickup coils, we could at least utilize this as a big giant shake flashlight, I guess, connect an LED to it and use it as a shake flashlight. So you'd require a lot less shaking this way. But my goal is to use it as a pulse motor to produce electricity to reroute back to itself and keep the process going. There is resistance as the magnets pass through the coils, so that is going to create a lot of drag, and we will see how much drag it causes and whether or not that there's enough momentum going so that when this rod hits this spring over here, if it bounces back. I do have two of these switches just in case I need one at each end, so and in case I need to place a driver coil at each side. So we shall see how it works once it's all complete. As far as the other components that will be going in this, there will be a bridge rectifier, because this will be producing alternating current since the magnets will be flowing back and forth instead of in just one direction. It will be producing an alternating current, and I need to rectify it into DC before it goes into the capacitor. So that's it, folks. Let the building begin.